Okay, looks like the live button is on, and we are live here at the Young Guns podcast once again. It's been a while since we did a chat. I think now, especially since school is starting back for a lot of us and things like that, we're going to be doing 1 to 2 podcasts a month. So hopefully that'll also make the topics a little bit more well thought out and things like that. So anyways, as always, you can find us on gunchannels.com. Gunchannels.com/YoungGunsPodcast is the name of the channel where this is going to be broadcast. If anybody's wondering, it's also in the description on the YouTube side. So check that out if you're not listening live. You can check out Gun Channels anytime you want. I encourage you to join and participate. And anyways, tonight we have myself and 3 others. We have Connor. Thanks for joining us, Connor.
Oh, hey. Yeah, no, thanks for inviting me back.
And then we have Jacques.
What up?
Thanks for coming. And then we have Capperlight. Make sure I say that right.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. Thanks for coming. And so tonight we're going to talk about, tonight the topic is, do old guns suck? And suck is in all caps. So before I even answer, let's go left to right. Yes or no? That's all I want to hear. Connor, what do you think? Do
No.
old guns suck at all? None.
None.
Okay. Jock, what do you think?
It's all relative.
Okay, playing the safe side, I see.
I like your yes or no answer there.
I'll say
Yeah.
no. It's an answer, but I'll say no.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Taperlight. I already know probably what he's gonna say. What do you think? The old
Oh, I
guns
was gonna
suck?
say no, but I might say yes to just play devil's advocate.
Well, that comes to me, and that's what I was thinking about now. I was probably gonna say yes because there are some. It can be argued.
Where it's at.
So pretty much when we decided on the topic is we were talking about cowboy action shooting actually, and we're like, well, how can we talk about that was what Jock mentioned. I was like, well, in what sense? I was like, let's talk about how the older actions of firearms still apply and how they don't apply to the modern guns now. And let me clarify, when we say old guns, we don't mean like World War II, Vietnam War like guns. We mean like old style actions, like single action revolvers,
Anything before
bolt action revolvers, lever action rifles. I just said bolt action revolvers. I meant bolt action rifles and lever action rifles, things like that. And even like the guns that still shot brass casings but were black powder and things like that, rolling block and all those kind of things.
4570.
So anything before semi-automatic.
Yeah. So like early 1900s and before, pretty much. So, what's your argument? What's your guys' argument for saying they don't suck?
Well,
They're
I mean,
fun.
okay,
They're steel, so you can actually use them as a club if you need to.
I agree with this wholeheartedly.
Right,
They're
but
steel or wood or both.
but there are also a lot of modern guns that are all metal.
Yeah, but you're gonna pay an arm and a leg for them.
Or you can get a all steel AR-15 for $500-$600.
You're
Not
funny.
steel.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
You can build one. No, that's not
It
a
ain't
lie.
steel.
You
No.
you cannot
It's
build an
aluminum.
You cannot build an
Aluminum.
all. We won't say steel. We'll say all metal.
Well, most ARs are aluminum anyway.
Yeah, so I
for the
said
most
they're gonna
part.
be some kind of
Forged
alloy.
aluminum.
Unless you buy billet, which is way overpriced.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. You're not building one for 500.
Right, but even then, there are still a few other modern guns.
Right.
But it is true
Well,
that most
Any
don't
other
have.
points though for wild guns are still relevant, other than like the raw power of those cartridges?
They're freaking awesome. That's why.
So you just get something like you look at it and you feel all tingly, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
So-
let me put it this way: when I pick up my 30-30 lever gun to go hunting, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna jack something up with this thing tomorrow morning.
Going
Like,
die, baby.
Oh, I just realized I forgot to post this on Gun Channels. Oops. I shall do that now.
Chat on
you know,
pause.
You can do anything internet-wise.
Hit the pause button.
slick,
No.
slick.
So I'm going to switch sides here for a second and say a reason that they don't suck is because of just the historic value they have, and that's what's cool. That kind of the story they tell and the history behind them. So that's definitely a big thing for me. That's one of the reasons I like them.
I will say when I pick up our Swedish Mauser,
That's
There's
American.
yeah, just the sheer just like historic value, and even our Mosins, like even our Mosin the Gaunt's, we've got two of them. You pick them up and you're kind of like, man,
Yeah, I'd say
this,
that's the main thing I forgot about was the real historical value and the intrinsic value of an old gun.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like this 60 Model 66 I have. I
Mm.
don't know how many people have owned it before me, but I know it's mine now, and I made it nice, way nicer than it once was. It's one of those things, like you can do so much to old guns or
Oh yeah.
not.
Well,
But
it's like
also the sentimental value too. Think about that, because a lot of them get
Well, it's intrinsic.
heirlooms and get handed down.
I will say, I called it my 30-30 lover gun earlier. It's actually my father's. Um, but yeah, we have done. It's to the point now where we don't get it out much because it's got the history. It's got just kind of that heirloomy.
Been in the family.
It's been in the family since my grandpa bought it when he first started hunting on my dad's side. And that was he's like 80. Grandpa's like 86 now. So back when he was 14-ish, I believe, is when he bought it. But we've reblued the barrel. We've put new brass hardware on it. We've even taken it to the local gunsmith, had him do some stuff to it. Just kind of keep it in working order and to keep it, in top-notch shape. And I've also got an heirloom firearm from. Well, no, I guess you can't really. It's semi-auto, but it was like early semi-auto.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that Belgium Browning.
22.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another thing. So value, pretty much. That's one word to describe it. Is the value of them is what make them not suck.
They're not making them anymore.
Yeah, that's just true.
That falls under value. So they're all different kinds of value to them.
Nostalgia, that's the one thing I forgot. Just like
Yeah.
muscle cars, they got nostalgia.
Right.
Oh yeah.
One thing
I got
I
one
will
thing.
say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Taper.
I was gonna say, like, we all talk about like getting heirlooms from our grandparents and stuff, like maybe an old Model 12, but like, have you guys ever thought what you're gonna be or what gun you are gonna pass down to your kids, like that one gun?
You beat me to
I've already
it,
got it.
goddammit.
I've already got it.
That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't decided. I really don't have. It'll probably
two. I've got two guns.
it'll probably actually be I don't have anything crazy valuable, but I do. I mean, it probably won't be a gun that I shoot a lot 'cause I don't want it to be like an old beat up gun.
But those are the best guns though. They really are.
I'm saying it's like I don't. If it's something nice, I'm gonna take care of it. So it'll probably be something like my Winchester 94, which is coincidentally an quote unquote old gun.
Yeah.
And it's a commemorative edition, and it's not like crazy valuable, but it's fancy. It's got nice scroll work on it and stuff. So
The point I was trying to make was it's not going to be like an AR or something with like plastic modern furniture.
Exactly. Not for the most part.
I can guarantee you my two guns will be my 260, which I hunted with for God knows how long, and I shot stupid amounts of deer with, and then my current hunting rifle at the moment, my Remington 700. Because those two guns will never leave, at least under my supervision, will never leave this family.
All right.
But
Okay.
So, so did you guys all answer that or not? I don't remember.
What? What's good about them?
No, about what two guns you would hand down.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know, my AK, because it would stand the test of time, and it's worth $2,000 almost.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the Smith & Wesson.
What did
Model
you say?
66.
So I got kind of a cool one. Like in my family, we've had this Stevens Model 1522 that basically for 3 generations now is what all the guys on my side of the family is learning to shoot on. So that's definitely going to be one.
We've got. Oh, my bad.
Let him finish, Connor.
And then I was just going to say I'm probably going to throw in my 700.
Right on.
And I was about to say we've got one more that we, like he said, that every man learns to shoot on his side of the family. We've got a 20. I can't remember what it is. I think it's it may be Stevens.
Yeah, see, I think a lot of people are like that. They have like a lot of people have 22s like that. We have one. It's a lever action. It's actually the
Yeah.
predecessor to the Henry lever action guns before Henry was even
Yeah.
making 22 lever actions, I think.
No,
And
this is the single shot bolt action guns that you have to actually pull the firing pin back.
hmm
Is it a Husqvarna?
It could be. I don't know.
Is
Okay.
it a
Funny.
Quackenbush?
It's so funny how people companies like that made. That's another thing to mention. The names that aren't around anymore, like Husqvarna. When you think of that, you don't think of guns now. You think
No,
of tools.
Husqvarna still makes guns.
Oh, do
But
they?
oh hell yeah, there's a lot of companies that like HK. They had all their guns made by either Benelli or Beretta, but they say HK on them. So
Yeah.
all the guns really do come from the same companies. It's just a stamp on them.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you think Remington owns almost everything.
Well, Freedom Group owns Remington.
Yeah, but
Freedom
That's
Group
the-
and ATK, they own like 80% plus of the firearms companies.
yeah.
But it
And
wouldn't make
industry.
any sense to put
It's
that
like
name on
it's like the
everything.
same thing as like GMC or
Mhm.
something like that.
Yeah,
You've got so
GM.
many.
All right, so I'm gonna flip back to my original argument here. While I was saying they do suck, and I was gonna one big thing is firepower because a lot of the older guns don't have the capacity of
Yeah,
the
the
of
most
the
you
more
get is
modern
like
guns.
10.
What's that?
The most you get from like an
Right.
extended tube on a
Lever
rifle,
action.
like 10 or
Yeah.
12 even. That's pistol ammo.
Yeah. So that's
You guys
definitely.
remember how fast the Winchester 1897 is? Those are still very capable shotguns because of their high rate of fire and even for a pump.
Oh, because it's got no interlock on it. Yep.
Yep, they're slam fire, or they can be slam fired.
Yep.
Was one of a slim fire shotgun. That'd be cool.
They're badass. Oh my god.
So there are exceptions like that, but for the most part, nowadays it's like
Well,
what?
they don't
Doesn't-
even have extended. Like, that's not firepower. That's capability.
Yeah.
Different.
Right.
How much lead fills the air?
And
I'm a big
of
fan
course
of that.
nowadays it's like if a pistol doesn't hold like at least 15 rounds,
You feel undergunned.
you're like why isn't why doesn't
Exactly.
it-
Yep,
this-
exactly. It's a mental.
Now,
block.
granted, I don't know because if I pick up my 1911, I know I've got 8 shots of 45 ACP. So if I pick up Caleb's Glock, I'm like, okay, I've either got like 21 shots of 9 mil or like 1940.
right. Well, those are extended, with extended
Yeah,
basement.
with
But yeah, even with
extended-
stock, it's like 15 and 17. So
Yeah. Even if I pick up my dad's XDM, it's like 19 plus 1
right,
stock. So
It's all about what you're comfortable with. Most people nowadays, when they learn to shoot on a Glock or a 22 trainer, and it's always at least 10 rounds for a 22 trainer, and a Glock
Oh, yeah.
is always at least 10 rounds. So,
unless you get a baby Glock.
well, no, I mean for a training
Oh,
Glock, like a little baby Glock or something. For most people's tiny hands when they're kids,
Yeah.
like 10 rounds.
all right. So another thing I was going to add to that, I think we're done with the pretty much firepower part, is reliability / safety.
I don't know about that one though.
Yeah, that was kind of a sketchy bit when it comes to old
It's a
guns.
50-50 on that because it really
Yeah,
depends.
well,
what
it
you're
depends on
talking
what.
about.
Yeah, it depends on what era, because now
No,
you
not
can
the
actually-
era, the gun.
Also, I'm
Yeah,
saying
I will say.
that's true too, because it was all pretty much right in the same time period. But it's like now you can actually put 6 rounds in a revolver instead of 5. So that's.
Well, I mean, you could put 6 in the early guns.
But
It's just whether if you valued your leg or not.
right.
All the weird ass cartridges, all the
Yeah,
old like
tappers
45,
let up inside.
120, 30 Webley, just the weird shit that you can't find ever.
Yeah,
So that's another thing that could go into I think that would factor into like cost.
yeah.
Yeah, even if you reload, those old cartridges are almost impossible to find components for.
Yeah, it
Another,
is.
another thing is like half those lever guns, you can't have pointed rounds in them
Yep.
Yep.
unless you have a box maker.
Unless you have that stupid flex point or whatever Hornady calls it.
Hornady only makes so many cartridges with that too, as far
Yeah.
as circumference of bullet.
Caliber. Yeah.
What's that one Winchester that was like a box fed lever action 30-06?
1897.
Never heard of that.
We used to have one.
Yeah, I think it was an 1890.
Is Winchester?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, we used to
Oh, the
have
97 was the shotgun.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun. We used to have one, and I think Dad traded it. I think so. I can't remember.
It's like as close as you can get to
No,
a.
I think it's 1895, isn't it? No, it's 80.
Oh, I picked up one of my
1895.
grandpa's. I picked up one of my grandpa's lever guns the other day. I was helping him clean out his safe, just kind of organizing everything.
That's a 95.
And it
Yeah,
was.
it is.
I picked up a lever gun that was like in 2025.
Right.
Some
25
stupid.
waters, something really goofy.
No. It was like 25 something. I can't remember it. God, I wish I. Oh, I got a chart right here that says everything. Let me look.
That's another thing. People don't realize how. Well, I guess this is another, not firepower, but it is how underpowered most cartridges were back then
Right,
compared
because
to
also
now.
because the manufacturing was not as strong, so the guns
Exactly.
couldn't handle as much.
Or they
Marlins
were
are
like
what just
designed for
because
black
of
powder.
Marlin. When Marlin came out after Winchester, they're literally twice the strength of the Winchester action, at least, if not more so.
Oh
So
yeah.
they were able to handle hand-loaded
Yeah.
smokeless powder cartridges in their black powder guns.
Yep.
Whereas Winchester, you'd blow the goddamn bolt out the back, or you'd split the chamber. You'd just wreck them.
You would not live to see the next day.
Nope.
Weren't most of those early smokeless cartridges like changed from black powder cartridges, so they were
Right, yeah.
not
A lot of
Oh,
them
yeah.
were
Yep.
from the reason because with the
We gotta think these guys are like, hey, wait a minute. This is new. Let's try this.
it's like
I
it
mean,
should be the
it's
same.
all powder, right?
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah, it probably
It's all
happens
the
a lot
same.
more than you think. They're like it's just it's just a more cleaner. It's just a cleaner powder is all it is. Same charge weight. And
The beginnings of EPA.
Ah! No. Let's say
So.
that. Any other real, suck part to the old guns?
The fact that since
Hard to
they
find
are,
parts for. They're not very
Yeah.
serviceable.
well, we already
Yes,
said that.
very, very true.
And another thing, well, this kind of falls under the same thing. If you do have one of those guns that's been passed down and passed on, that's been shot a bunch, you can wind up eventually having a shot out barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a now granted it's not an old gun, but it was one that we model 6022. One of the tube-fed semi-automatic guns, and we've rebarreled that gun twice.
Right. So like we
Okay.
said earlier, just the life of them, which is that's kind of with any gun too, though. I mean, eventually.
Yeah.
But like we said, you can't service it because they might not be made anymore.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we used to have one of those lever guns. We
And the
got rid
rarer
of
the
it.
gun, the way harder it is to find parts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These, good luck finding parts, even new manufacture.
Yeah. It's like owning a Ferrari. Good luck finding parts here.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well, kind of an outright. I would say it's more like owning an old Ferrari. There's a
Yeah.
big difference.
Well, that's what we
Modern-
had.
Yeah.
We had like an 82 308 GTI.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, we pretty much covered like why they suck from like an actual like not shooting standpoint, but
Characteristics.
right. So, I think we're gonna transition now.
I'd
Unless you
also
guys want
say
to add
the
something else to that.
The weight isn't always a benefit.
What's that?
The weight of old guns isn't
Oh yeah,
always a benefit.
that's very arguable.
You want to carry a 12-pound lever gun through the woods, or do you want to carry a 6-pound AR? I don't know.
So when we were
Where's
talking
my
about the chat, when we were talking about having the chat tonight, another point brought up was how effective were they actually? Because there's a lot of misinterpretation by Hollywood and things like that. And you see a lot of movies and things like that where people will do some pretty amazing things with these guns that are pretty old. Which also that goes back to it's more about the shooter than the gun. But these guns were a lot more limited than their capabilities than newer cartridges and newer firearms. So I think that's a good point to bring up. I mean, what do you guys think about what you see? Like, obviously, I think a lot of it is overplayed, but at the same time, some of it might be somewhat accurate, like in movies and books and things like that you see.
They work as long as you can hit your target, but you don't have that
Yeah.
many shots. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
like
We
you were
get-
talking earlier, there's those movies with revolvers that have just endless cylinders, apparently.
Fast
Well,
and
that's
Furious.
more about things, but like a lot of things that come up in like like the fast draw Western movies like that I've seen with Clint Eastwood and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Or that like a lot of the duels and stuff you'll see will be like they'll be like 40 or 30 yards apart. They'll be like standing, at one end of the town, and that just actually, in the few duels that did happen like that were usually very, very close. It was usually within like 10 feet.
Bang bang, you're dead.
That way for them, that way they could hit the person they were shooting at. Otherwise, it would just, I don't know what would happen if you had to draw like a duel at 30 yards. That'd be kind of anticlimactic, I think. Most people would draw a gun and shoot, nothing would happen, and they'd just stand there, and then probably they would run away, or one of them would run away.
You know what pro steel's
Damn, I missed too.
Crap, run!
Yeah, no. What pro steel's looking up now? I was actually about to start talking about Theodore Roosevelt. Yeah, with how much of a huge hunter he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to think I was like, you got to think, what guns did he use? He shot everything. If it was known, it was shot by him.
One was even suppressed.
What?
I did not even know this. What?
Yeah, he had a suppressed lever action, I thought.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
I haven't heard of
Yeah,
that.
one of like the first ones ever.
I did read his journal or his book that he wrote about him going through the Amazon.
Well, you got to think the first person who, Maxim suppressors, as far as I know, were the first well-known suppressors on the market, and it's a pretty old company considering, Maxim machine gun.
Yeah, Maxim machine gun.
Yeah, that was in the Civil War time, so that.
Look at the size of this gun, by the way. For people that don't realize, I actually met this dude. He is not a tiny guy.
I forget the name of his channel.
Really decent rifle. Who, him? It's
Yeah.
Jeff.
I
Jeff
forget
Quinn.
what's his name of his channel. I always forget.
Gun Blast.
Gunblast. That's it.
He's pretty
Gunblast.com.
cool. Yep, he ain't a tiny guy. That gun is pretty decent size, folks, for people that don't realize how hefty and unwieldy these old guns usually are.
Mm-hmm.
I will say
I don't know what the hell
that
this
you
is,
don't
but-
you with the older guns, besides your carbine length rifles that you would find in like cavalry units or anything like that.
Which are pretty rare, actually.
Yeah, most of your
Simple
older
rifle.
guns are usually over 48 inches long.
Yep. And the
Well,
barrel's
those are-
almost
yeah.
always over 24.
That's like really old guns too, though. It's like I have a Swiss bolt-action rifle from 1869. It's like 4.5, 5 feet.
The one that's rebored to 30-06.
No, that's my Mauser, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about. I don't know if you've seen it. You probably have. You probably just don't remember it. It's like it's a Swiss. It was made in Switzerland. It's an old 41. It's 41 caliber is what it translates to in standard size, but it's measured by metric because it's from Europe, and it's a rimfire actually, but it's like a.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I actually have two of the original rounds for it. So
I
powder in
remember
them.
when you
Oh,
mentioned
God.
rimfire, I know what you're talking about.
And yeah, those guns are huge.
Yeah.
And it had to be another thing with the accuracy. We're talking about with the, like what we were just saying, like in the movies and stuff, the capability of them. What were the true capabilities? Of course, right around the Civil Wars, when obviously the war, anytime you have a war like that, it fuels the industrialization and a lot of the new ideas start coming forth because they're trying to win a war. So
Manufacturing process changed everything in this world.
right.
Guns became so much stronger, much more incredibly easy to manufacture, but I don't know. I don't think the movies do a good or a bad job. It's
Swishy-washy, I guess.
It really depends on what you're watching.
Yeah, very true.
Fistful of Dollars, it's not super realistic. But say if you watch, I can't think of the damn movie.
Jeremiah Johnson was good.
Realistic. Be some guys like you were talking about in a standoff, 20 yards, miss, they both take cover.
Right. And one movie that's kind of, for the most part, what I can remember about it seems to be pretty somewhat realistically portrayed is Tombstone. With
Tombstone was very real, actually. I was surprised.
I did want to mention this. When you get into those older calibers and the older guns, you have to be a man to shoot them. They hurt.
Yeah, they didn't have recoil pads. It was
That's
all
true.
curved
They didn't
steel
have.
butt
They didn't make limb savers. And
No, and this is the thing is that I had to do a project a while back on the difference between modern technology and like Civil War technology. And so what did I naturally pick? I picked guns, and I did the comparison between a modern inline muzzleloader to a Lee
Lee
Uh,
Metford or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like 68 caliber. And I actually shot one, and it hurt. Like and I'm an experienced shooter, and I can take a beating, but it hurt a lot.
Big bullet, big gun, big
Big
powder.
bullet, big. It had like
Yeah.
a 90 something grain charge behind it. I want to say.
Right.
Maybe
And that could be another argument for the suck argument, I guess, is because like you look at the rifles we have now, like even the 50 BMG
Got to man up.
from Barrett is pretty manageable. It doesn't. I mean, obviously it has.
That's because it's got that
recoil, but-
massive comp, though. If you take that off, oh my
Well, that's what I'm
god.
saying. That's what the difference is. Like, look at what's been developed, in the past, I guess, 100 years at least.
Yeah.
Before then.
I retract my statement about the 90 grains of powder. That'd be overload. That's an exaggeration.
Yeah, don't go load. 68
Don't load 90 grains of smoke black powder into a
I'm gonna
firearm.
put a
You
disclaimer.
will die.
I'll put a disclaimer on this chat now, thanks to Connor.
Huh?
Someone's put a disclaimer on here now, thanks to you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Do not follow any load data. Young Guns
Non-reputable source.
No.
Non-reputable source.
I mean, other than that, what do you think about the realism in the movies? Like, it's just kind of.
Oh, it's
it
awful.
really depends on what you're watching.
It's awful. 99% of the movies is going to be terrible.
Hell on Wheels is pretty realistic. I will stand behind that
That's
show.
the only things I've never seen.
I like that show a lot. I haven't seen, in relation to, in comparison to some people, I haven't seen a lot of westerns. I think I've seen a lot, but there's a lot of them that I haven't.
Now that we're talking about westerns,
Hard
we're
to
talking
say.
about old guns. John Wayne has to be growing up at one point.
See, I never watched John Wayne movies. I think I've seen some before, but I've never gotten into them before like I did with like the Clint Eastwood movies.
Go watch The War Wagon right now.
You're what?
Go watch The War Wagon right now.
Okay. Netflix.
But I mean, what do y'all think? Even with like the John Wayne, how did that, picture older firearms?
It's a 50-50 thing again. Like, yeah, rugged dudes carried them, and they did pretty good with the gun, but that's more a reflection of society back then, not the gun.
This is true.
I think the most unrealistic part were the duels. Everything else, like, at least the rifle stuff seemed pretty realistic to me, even in the westerns.
Right, yeah, a lot of misses.
I'll say that. That's pretty. But I mean, it's kind of hard to get that wrong, unless you've got the same guy shooting over and over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it that it was like you could load it on Sunday, shoot it all week, and
Henry.
That was the Spencer repeater.
Spencer, yeah.
During Civil War.
I thought that was the original Henry.
That was what the Southerners would call it. They'd say that Yankee rifle, you can load it on Sunday and shoot it all week, because the Union was the one who made it.
Yeah.
And started using it, putting it into use.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what gun it was. I just remember that quote. I wanted to say Henry, but I wasn't.
I don't know. Ask Tapper. He probably knows.
No, but what?
For sure. The repeater that was made in Civil War, that was the Spencer, right?
I don't remember. I know it was either the Spencer or the Henry, but
it was the Henry. It was the Henry because the Spencer was that weird, like almost
Spencer had a
rolling
tubular
block.
feed in the butt stop.
Yeah, it had that weird. It was the carbine that all the cover units.
I thought I heard Hickok say that same quote with the Henry he had.
Yeah.
Really? Darn. See, I don't know. It was
I think. Yeah. Now I think it was the Henry.
How much time you got left, Caleb? Like 30 minutes?
Yeah, we'll probably go about another 15 minutes or so. Just play it out and see how it goes. So we've been
Not to interrupt you guys, I'm just like we want to cover as much as we can, I guess.
Yeah, it's been going pretty good so far. What else did we say? Oh well, I mean, are we done with the talking about the with old guns in Hollywood kind of thing? Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Oh, I forgot one thing. There's a
that.
reason the military moved on from lever action almost instantaneously to bolt guns.
Yep.
Oh yeah, which I mean, like we said at the beginning of the chat, bolt action is still a pretty old action, so it could be. It falls under both. I think it's a crossover.
Hell, it's from turn of the century, basically.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a crossover between old guns and modern.
All right. I want to take a poll.
Kind of.
I want to take a poll right now. Out of all the like the older bolt actions, name the best one.
Mauser, it's
Oh,
not even
God.
a question.
Yeah,
They
Mauser action is the best.
Well, yeah, but
People are still
I'm
building
naming
custom rifles off of them.
specific firearm.
I don't know. It's kind of a tough question. It's kind of very specific.
That's why I asked it, because it is specific.
It's not a very interesting question to me, but
Well, I mean, you gotta think the Mauser actions. I mean, it's still being used today. So,
probably like a 30-06 bolt action. That would be the one I'd pick.
my answer would be Springfield 1903.
Yeah,
Yes.
30-06. So
Somebody
Um,
told me that cartridge was actually made in 1906.
yeah, they made it. It was chambered in something different when they first made the rifle, and then
it was.
they made the round. That's why it's called 06 because it
Yeah,
was made in '06,
yeah.
the year 1906.
The
But
original caliber was like 30 odd.
30.
Yeah,
It's
30 something.
30.
it was 30-03, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3003. That's what it was.
That's why I mean it was the '03
It was some
rifle.
oddball.
Yeah, it was. It was. They used it to replace the 30-40 Krag.
Yeah. I will say this though. The 303 British that the Lee Enfield shot, that action is probably one of the smoothest actions that you would ever find.
What are you talking about? It just came back.
Because it cocks on close, not open.
Huh?
Enfield rifles cock on close, not open like the Springfield Mausers.
Yeah, 75% of your force is required on close as opposed to open, which is really smooth and really quick.
A lot easier to push it closed than it is to pull it open.
Yeah, there's a reason Europeans kind of tried to switch to that after the Lee Enfield came out.
Yeah. But that's probably one of the smoothest actions I've ever felt. But I think I would still stick with my answers. I'd rather have a 30-06 than a 303 British.
All right, so I think we answered that one. That pretty good. So as we said, like in movies, definitely different portrayals, things like that.
Right.
Another thing I was going to hit on, I didn't really talk about much before we started, but was how useful the old guns are in the competitive shooting. It's a very big thing for a lot of people.
Cowboy action shooting.
Yeah, it's there's several sport foundations out there for
Evil
people to get involved
Roy.
in.
Eustace.
And it's still very much a big culture thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's an entire subculture of the shooting industry.
It is.
And that's why it survived so long too.
And I think to be perfectly honest, I think it's one of the more expensive subcultures of the shooting industry.
Oh, bar none it is. You want to go buy an 1873 right now? Yeah, go look at the price.
Well, not even that. Say you buy a modern version, like a remake of...
Like a Turnbull? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way. We have 2 Ruger Vaqueros.
I knew those Vaqueros were going to come up again. I knew it.
Yeah, they're coming up. Either way.
Stop trying to sell your guns.
God damn it.
But they're completely custom built, and we bought them for like $800 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they work flawlessly. But I mean, really, unless you're really, really die hard into the sport, there's no
reason to get one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Most like these guns are like range guns.
And that Stoger or Stoger, however you want to pronounce it, double barrel that I have.
Right.
Or technically it's a coach gun. Going back to your old gun qualification.
And I think another thing too that's pretty popular, not extremely popular, but it's pretty well known, is the reenactments that are,
the Civil War reenactments.
Yeah, you Civil War and several others. That's like Murphy's Musket. Real big into that, and he does a lot of the old. Does a lot of work on his old guns, getting them like authentic and things like that. Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
You know what's really funny is if you ever go to one of those, they don't carry their ramrods because they might shoot somebody with it, and also when they're dead, you see people migrating towards the shade. If you ever go to one, you see it.
Die in the shade. Die in the shade.
You get the people that are the uber badasses and just keep living forever, as they move on, or you
Yeah.
get the guys that just coincidentally get shot in the shade.
Without getting too much into it, I've talked to Murphy's Muskets about it before, and about how he said it really depends on where it's at and whoever's running it, how strict they want it to be. So some of them, like you said, will be not as strict, and some of them are like they want you have to camp out and eat the like authentic food, and like they
Yeah.
camp out for a night, and that I think that's really cool. So
Yeah.
there's definitely a big culture there too with that. So so I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up unless you guys have anything real quick you want to add before I make the closing statement here. So I think we had a pretty good chat. Obviously, old guns don't suck, but
It's all relative.
there are some disadvantages and advantages. So I thought we discussed them pretty well for the most part. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Oh, I would like to let everyone know. I think I said this at the beginning. Yeah, about having a podcast about once or twice a month. It's probably gonna be the schedule now.
That'll work great on my schedule.
And it'll just be whenever we'll probably plan like a week ahead, and we'll get it all set up. So there's not gonna be like a set date every month. So just it'll be posted on gun channels though on the homepage, probably the day of. So if you see it, then you know it's coming up that night. Or I'll probably try to put one out if I get the chat planned before then, before the day of, hopefully like a few days in advance. So we'll be putting the information out there whenever we have them. So anyways, thanks everybody for coming, and thank you guys for showing up.
Thanks for the invite.
We'll see everyone next time.
Yep, thanks.